totally concur. Southport did not want to be known for the tragedy of the events on Monday, and it certainly does not want to be associated with the events of last night. That wasn't Southport people. That's not the heart of Southport. The heart of Southport is close community and solidarity and support and living side by side, and, the misinformation, again, I know there's so much about misinformation already out there, but from a hospital perspective, the same people, and the emergency service perspective, the same people who were there as first responders and spending their day on Monday through the night into Tuesday treating those who'd been injured in the attack are now being attacked themselves, and at
Yeah.
A&E having to treat those who
Mm.
have responded and been supported themselves are now victims, and that's just a terrible, terrible double tragedy for the town.
How do you go about mourning the loss of a 6, 7, and 9-year-old child killed whilst doing something as joyful as dancing at a holiday club? It's as senseless as it is heartbreaking. No words can describe the devastation, 6-year-old BB King's family said in a statement. The local community had a chance to try and process their grief at a vigil last night. Thousands gathered to quietly pay their respects. It was led by the Rev Martin Abrams, who is live with us this morning. Welcome to Times Radio Breakfast. How did it go?
Thank you so much for your welcome and the opportunity to speak this morning. And the vigil itself, I have to say, was just so moving and special and heartwarming. It started really only the night before with an idea from two groups, Cradle, who are a support group locally and now nationally for parents following a child loss, and the Southport Bid team. And it was going to be quite a small event, just giving the opportunity for, a few people to gather. And in the course of 12, maybe 24 hours, it grew into something which was an absolute sign of what is at the heart of the community of Southport. Absolutely appalled by the events before last night and absolutely shocked to the core of the community by what had happened. It gave opportunity for people to come together with their grief to try and express in some way the unexpressible, because nobody knows how to respond to such events. We're not programmed into how to respond to such events. Clearly, those at the heart of it, those who have lost their loved ones and those who are still in hospital, so very sick and being cared for, clearly have so much to deal with that most of us cannot even begin to imagine. But for the wider community, those who live nearby, those who call their home Southport, we're not used to global attention. We're not used to media attention at all. We're a quiet seaside town. Less than 100,000 people live here. Lots of visitors, and things like this just don't happen here. So I go on,
I was
please.
just going to say, what do you think people do get from something like that vigil that was there last night? As you say, it's almost incomprehensible what those connected to and those who are living around this kind of senseless killing. What comfort can you give to people?
I think it starts off with standing together in solidarity. And one of the analogies I used as part of the vigil was, of course, the Taylor Swift friendship bracelets, which express people never need to be alone. And so many pictures of people making these bracelets, sharing them as a sign of not being alone. And the vigil itself was a massive expression of that. But in addition to that, it gave residents, it gave representatives of the emergency services, representatives of the hospital, opportunity to come and stand together and to do what they need to do, whether it be lay memorial, whether it be to weep or to hug or to cry, or simply to stand together. It gave opportunity to that. And of course, it gave opportunity to remember not long before the beginning. Of course, it was confirmed that now that there were the three girls,
Yeah.
and they were named, and gave opportunity to have a focus of a name very much within the hearts and minds of people. Representatives of the community, the borough, and of course the hospital came and laid their wreaths and just expressed their sorrow and solidarity and support
Yeah.
in this gentle way.
Of course, there were hundreds of people in Southport last night not showing their support and solidarity in that gentle
Yeah,
way. We
yeah,
now know that there were hundreds of people out burning cars, throwing bricks, attacking a mosque, injuring police. I mean, What on earth did you make of that scene? I mean, did you get to see any of it at all?
Actually, yes, because I had to drive home around the edge of it. I'd left my car in an area quite near it, so I had to virtually walk around it and through it to get home. And well, others, who've got sort of more authority in the country, from the Prime Minister across, have, given their opinion of what happened last night, and I totally concur. Southport did not want to be known for the tragedy of the events on Monday, and it certainly does not want to be associated with the events of last night. That wasn't Southport people. That's not the heart of Southport. The heart of Southport is close community and solidarity and support and living side by side, and, the misinformation. Again, I know there's so much about misinformation already out there, but from a hospital perspective, the same people, and the emergency service perspective, the same people who were there as first responders and spending the day on Monday through the night into Tuesday treating those who'd been injured in the attack are now being attacked themselves, and at A&E having to treat those who have responded and been supported themselves are now victims, and that's just a terrible double tragedy for the town.
Right, Mr. Byrne. Oh, that you don't stand out like a sore
Hey, watch out, lad. Watch out, lad. That's how you would feel. We all told you this is more than a fight. Way good. I'll let you go this side. I can feel the fight from here. We don't look worried.